I'm David Greenfield, Director of Content at Automation World, and thanks for joining me for this Take 5 episode where I'll be highlighting virtualization and what it means for automation in the era of Industry 4.0 and the Internet of Things. Now, though virtualization is a relatively new concept for industrial automation, it has a long history of use in IT applications. Essentially, it's a way of consolidating computing resources on fewer computing hardware devices so that you can use more of the device's computing capacity while also reducing server cooling and maintenance costs. Now, Red Hat, a provider of open source IT technologies, explains virtualization this way. They say, imagine that you have 3 physical servers. One of them is used as a mail server, another one is used as a web server, and the other one runs various legacy applications. Now, in this scenario, each server is using only about 30% of its capacity. So, without virtualization, it was easier and more reliable to just run these individual tasks on individual servers, as I just described. But with virtualization, you can split the mail server, for example, into 2 unique servers that can handle independent tasks, so the legacy apps or the web server apps can be migrated to it. This way, you're using your computing hardware more efficiently. Now, the ability to virtualize computing resources has been around since the 1960s, but it didn't start to get widely used in IT circles until the early 2000s with the introduction of hypervisor technology, which takes your physical computing resources and divides them up so that virtual environments can use them. Now, Red Hat explains that users interact with and run computations within the virtual environment on what's typically referred to as a virtual machine. And the virtual machine functions as a single data file, and like any digital file, it can be moved from one computer to another, opened in either one, and it will work the same. So where does all this virtualization capability fit with automation? Well, let's look at how Procom, a Germany-based supplier of CNC machines, is using it. Procom CNC machines are designed for cutting foam and fabric for everything from mattresses and furniture to suits, jeans, and t-shirts. And Procom's cutting control technologies are powered by its proprietary industrial PC-based CNC 300 controller. The newest version of this controller uses hypervisor technology to distribute individual tasks among dedicated virtual machines on the controller. In this setup, one real-time operating system coordinates the cutting movement of the servo axes, integrated PLC functionality, and safety monitoring functions needed for CNC machine control. Now, previously, the company had used a dedicated CNC and PLC core along with an industrial PC-based hardware platform as the human-machine interface. So moving from this 3-processor hardware-based approach for machine control to the current version required the company to virtualize the hardware-based microprocessors on a multi-core processor. To do this, Procom began using Windows 10 IoT Enterprise, which is a multi-core based x86 operating system with 1 to 2 cores dedicated to Windows, plus 1 core each for the PLC and CNC motion control functions. And Procom chose RealTime Systems hypervisor to enable the virtualization that would separate the Windows environment used for the user interface and task preparation from the real-time functions of the CNC. Now, Harold Mueller, head of consulting and production at Procom, said, with the hypervisor technology in place, Procom's control systems are now scalable across Intel's core processors and have an OPC UA interface to handle communication of operating and machine data to connected MES and ERP applications. Now, this, of course, is just one example of many about the growing use of virtualization in automation applications. If you're interested in learning more about how virtualization is affecting automation, I recommend checking out articles such as Understanding Virtualization for Industrial Automation, which is a presentation which was delivered at Inductive Automation's Ignition Community Conference by Mike Farion of Advantech B&B SmartWorks, and Virtualization, the IT-OT Crossroads, which focuses on the value of virtualization in plant floor applications where computing resources aren't updated as often as they are in the IT realm. It also discusses the added cybersecurity value obtainable via virtualization. So, I hope you enjoyed this Take 5 with Automation World episode, and remember to keep watching this space for new episodes each week to help keep you on top of what's happening in the world of industrial automation.